Okay, perfect. All right. So lesson number 4, we're going to review the comparatives and the superlatives. We'll talk about the regular and irregular past tenses. We've got some more writing stuff. As we get a little bit more advanced, we're going to start working on writing a little bit. We've got possessive adjectives, questions, etc. So we've got a lot of stuff going on here. Let's see here. Complete the sentence, Araceli.
This winter, I'm going to visit the mountains.
Oh, nice. Have you ever gone skiing or snowboarding, Araceli?
Oh no, I can't do it. I have tried, but I can't do it.
But you've tried. Okay, yeah, at least you've tried. Yeah, that's one of the coolest things about living in Colorado. It's hard at first, but once you get it, oh, it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's so hard. No, I don't like it.
It is hard. Yeah, it is hard. All right, fill in this, complete this sentence, please.
Tomorrow, I'm going to play soccer.
You're going to play soccer tomorrow? Okay, good.
The last time we danced. The last time we danced was so fun.
Yeah, good.
I like to stay in shape because it is good for my health.
Hi, Norma.
Hi.
Are you back?
Yeah.
Can you see now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Why don't you finish this one, Norma?
Mm-hmm.
The first vacation, blah, blah, blah.
The first vacation destination on my bucket list is to Nebraska.
Nebraska? Okay, why? Tell me about that.
Or no.
Why do you want to go to Nebraska?
To go to vacation.
Yeah, but why Nebraska? That is not a common answer to this. Just so you know, not many people look at Nebraska as a very exciting destination. So why Nebraska, Norma?
Because I like to go there for camping.
Okay. Do you go to that lake?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that lake called that's in Nebraska? McConaughey, maybe? Lake McConaughey, something?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I was guessing that you were going to say because of the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Have you ever been have you been there before, Norma?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been to the one in Nebraska. There's one I went, this must have been about 10 years ago, to Wyoming, Glendo Reservoir. That place is amazing. That place is really awesome. I've heard the place in Nebraska is really good too. So good. All right. Let's talk about our comparatives and our superlatives. So on the far left, we've got something called an adjective, right? Slow.
Mm-hmm.
Slow. Okay? That's just a regular adjective. If we want to compare one thing to another thing, we can use what's called a comparative. Slower. All right. The one on the left is slow. The one in the middle is slower. Okay. We're directly comparing it to another item. And then we have what's called a superlative. A superlative is the maximum expression here. The one on the right is the slowest. We typically use a superlative when we're comparing 3 or more things. So slow is when we're just describing one thing. A comparative is when we're describing one thing, comparing it to another, and then a superlative is when we're just maximizing or generalizing a statement out of 3 or more choices. Okay. Typically it follows this format, right? Fast, faster, fastest. We just add an ER or an EST. Cheap, cheaper, the cheapest. Close, closer, the closest. We also have comparatives and superlatives where we don't modify with an ER or an EST, but we have to add the word more or the most in front of it. So the top car is expensive. The one in the middle is more expensive. Woo, and the one on the bottom is the most expensive. Typically speaking, like if we look back here, close, 1 syllable. Cheap, 1 syllable. Fast, 1 syllable. Slow, 1 syllable. But now when we look at expensive, we have 3 syllables. So the general rule is when it has more syllables or when the word is longer, we use more and most. And when it's shorter, we use the ER or the EST, okay? We have certain exceptions, like far is completely irregular. You just have to memorize this for what it is. Far, farther, the farthest. I don't know why we have to add the TH, but we do. So let's practice with this, okay? Araceli, give me the first one, slow. How do you form the comparative and superlative?
Slow, slower, and slowest.
Yeah, slowest. Typically speaking, just so you know, when we use the superlative, we also use it with the word the slowest.
The slowest.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Norma, fast?
Faster. The fastest.
Good. Cheap?
Cheaper and the cheapest.
Norma?
Close, closer, and the closest.
Closest. Good, Norma.
And expensive, the more expensive, and the most expensive.
All right.
Far, farther.
This is the irregular one. Farther.
The farthest.
The farthest.
Farthest.
Farthest. Okay. All right. So I want you to you can write this down if you want to in the chat, or you can do it on a piece of paper and then just share it with us. Either way, whatever you feel more comfortable. But try and give me at least 5 sentences here where you compare things. Try and give me 5 of your own sentences using some of these words that you see here, okay?
Bueno. Hola, muy bien, gracias.
Bud boy. Whoa, son.
I'm okay.
Here's my helper. Say hi.
Can I say the turtle is slower than a rabbit?
The turtle is slower than a rabbit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The turtle's a
Okay.
lot slower than a rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Willie. That's not answering us. I wonder why.
Oh, we're just waiting for them to give us their sentences.
Can I use the Lamborghini is faster than Camaro?
The Lamborghini is faster than the Camaro. Yeah. Very good.
Can I hear that? Wants a bunny. Rabbit so fast.
We have Greek pasta salad. Come on, David.
I'll be right with you, buddy, okay? Be a good boy.
Bye-bye.
You ready, Araceli?
Yes, I'm sorry, I had a phone. Call. But I'm back.
Oh, I see you put a couple in your chat.
iPhone.
Water turtle. The jet is faster than an airplane. Good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Norma.
And
An iPhone is more expensive than Samsung.
Yeah, that's true.
King Super is closer than Walmart.
Good. Yeah, perfect. Very good. I think you guys got it. Nice job here. So now we'll just make some conversation, okay? Araceli, which is slower, a plane or a train?
the train is slower than a plane.
Absolutely. Okay, so ask Araceli, ask Norma, number 2, and then just go back and forth for the rest of these.
Okay. Norma, which is the slowest form of transportation?
I think so. The car, it's a slower form.
All right, go ahead, number 3.
Araceli, which is faster, a bike or a motorcycle?
The motorcycle is faster than a bike.
Good.
Norma, which is the fastest form of transportation?
The fastest form of transportation is an airplane.
Go ahead, next.
Araceli, which is cheaper, a bus or a taxi?
A bus is cheaper. Which is the cheapest form of transportation, Norma?
The cheapest form of transportation, I think it's the bus.
The bus, yeah.
Which is more expensive, a limo or a helicopter?
I think a helicopter is more expensive.
Probably, yes.
Which is the most expensive form of transportation?
The most expensive. I think the airplane.
Go ahead, ask the next question. This is answer and then ask.
Which is farther, Colorado Spring or Mexico?
Mexico is farther. Which is the farthest, Mexico, Colombia, or Argentina?
I think it's the Argentina, the farthest.
Argentina is the farthest.
Here's the farthest.
Yep, you're right about that.
Which is closer, Aurora or Bell?
Aurora is closer. Which is the closest, Utah, Nevada, or California?
I think it's the closest, Utah.
Yeah, good. All right, very good. Sorry, give me 1 second here. Sorry, I hit the wrong button here. Oh, where did it go? All right. So let's practice with the regular past tense, okay? Typically speaking, in the past tense, for regular verbs in the past tense, you just add an ed to the base of the verb. So talk changes to talked with an ed. Araceli, what does lock change to?
Locked.
Locked. Norma?
Knocked.
Araceli?
Walked.
Yeah. This applies to most of our verbs in English, okay? At the same time, we do have also a lot of irregular verbs where they change completely in the past tense. So like this first example of go changes to went. Like went has nothing to do with the go. So where did they come up with that? I have no idea. That's just the way it works, okay? So with these words, you just have to memorize them, you know? You just have to dedicate some time to memorizing. Do you know what the past tense of buy is?
Bought.
Do?
Did.
Did.
Strike?
Stroke.
Struck.
Stroke.
Okay. What about think? Think changes to thought. See?
Thought.
Saw.
Saw. Sleep.
Slept.
Seek.
I don't know what is it.
Seek changes to sought.
Mhm.
Seek means to look for something, to look
Mhm.
for something. Okay. So how do you know? How do you know if a verb is regular or irregular in the past tense? You don't. You have to study. You have to learn them. It's just straight memorization, you know? Every time you learn a new word, a new verb, you have to learn how it works in the past, present, and future. And it's hardest in the past tense, I think, because we have so many irregulars. There's like 100, maybe 200 of these, and you just have to memorize them, okay? There are some patterns that can help us out with that, so let's take a look at what some of these patterns look like, okay? Let's try. Number one, I visit my family in the summer in the past tense.
2 years ago, I visited my family in the winter.
All right, good. Number two, Norma.
She needs to take her dog. She needed to take her dog yesterday.
To walk her dog. Walk. She needed to walk her dog. Number three, Araceli.
We travel to the same city every year. We traveled to a new country last month.
Good.
I work for a very small business. In my last job, I worked for a large company.
Great. All right. So with our regular verbs, in the past tense, the pattern is to add an ed. Okay. The pronunciation can change a little bit, but that's essentially the rule for regular verbs in the past tense. All right. So now let's practice reading a little bit. Okay. Why don't you start for us, Araceli?
Last summer, I visited my family in California. Continue? Or?
Yeah, read the whole thing.
Okay. I landed in Los Angeles and I traveled to Fresno by car. My parents needed help moving into their new house, so I volunteered. We worked hard all day and they thanked me for helping. I helped until my other siblings arrived. Then I wanted a break, so I walked around the park with my mother.
Perfect. All right. Now, these are going to be irregular. Okay, let's practice with this. Number one, Norma.
I normally cut vegetables in the kitchen. Yesterday, I cut vegetables in the kitchen.
Yeah. So here's a new pattern for you. These verbs don't change at all in the past tense. Number 2, Araceli.
Sometimes I hurt myself playing soccer. I hurt my leg playing soccer last week.
Good. Number 3, Norma.
I usually put the dishes in the dishwasher right after I eat. When I was at my sister's house, I put the dishes in the dishwasher.
Yep.
I often quit when things get difficult. Last year, I successfully quit smoking. Successfully.
Very good, yeah. So sometimes it helps when you learn these in groups like this, you know, that all of these don't change at all in the past tense. Go ahead, read this to me, Norma.
Irregular past reading practice. I put the heavy boxes of dishes in the kitchen. I was very carefully, but when I was unloading the
The knives.
knives, I cut myself on accident.
Yeah.
The cut really hurt, but I didn't want to quit. Instead, my brother let me unpack books.
Good. Yeah, you got it. So you can see these are all the same in the present and the past tense. All
How
right.
do you say the knives?
Knives.
Knives.
Knives with the long vowel. Knives.
Knives.
All right. Araceli, number 1. Actually, I just realized we are at 12 o'clock. We're at the top of the outer. So we're going to wrap things